The $64 question, or maybe I should say the $64 million question that everyone has is, do you think I'm getting Alzheimer's? Do you think this is dementia? I don't know, the behaviors are different. They don't act the way they used to. What's wrong? So let's just take a deep breath, and now let's exhale, and let's talk about some of the symptoms that could possibly be the beginning of a dementia or Alzheimer's. I'm going to review just a few of these different areas, and we're going to get into an expanded conversation a little bit later. But I want you to know about these. Just make a note. Every time I mention something, maybe that's something that you're starting to see a pattern. And if you're starting to see a pattern, that's when you want to pay attention. Let's walk through some of the symptoms that are the possibilities of developing dementia or Alzheimer's. Getting lost in familiar places. You're walking down the street, you always turn right, but gosh, what you're looking for isn't there. You're driving to the store. You know how to get to the store. Where are you going? Well, I'm going to the store. Well, the store isn't that way. Oh, it isn't? Okay, I guess I'm just turned around. All right. 1 time, 2 times, 19 times, question mark, put it down on the piece of paper. Repetitive questioning. Do you remember your children? Mom, when are we going? Mom, when are we going? Well, is your loved one starting to sound a little bit like a 4 or 5-year-old, repeating requesting again and again? I don't remember you telling me that. Put it down on a piece of paper. Make your checklist. Are they exhibiting some odd or inappropriate behavior? Inappropriate and odd to them, okay? I want to emphasize that. It's just out of character for who you have always known them to be. Make a little note. Forgetfulness about a recent event. Maybe they don't recall that party you just went to, and it was a big deal, and they had a great time. They don't remember going to that party. Or, well, we went somewhere, and I must have had a good time. I feel good thinking about it, but gosh, I just don't remember that. Make a note. Are you noticing that there's a loss of balance? Or maybe they're falling, sort of like they're tripping, or maybe they're just walking in the living room and all of a sudden they lose their balance. Please make a note of this. Let's take a look at personality changes. They were always very upbeat, life of the party, happy. They're not so happy. They want to spend a lot of time alone. Maybe they were always the engineer type, and now they're quite playful. Well, I want you to enjoy that playfulness, but I want you to pay attention to this fairly radical change in their personality. Have you noticed that they don't plan things the way they always did? They're not organized, and they were always organized. And you can't find anything. They can't find anything. That is definitely make a note time. How about changes in their diet, their eating habits? They're eating a lot, or they're not eating a lot. And that's not because they want to get into a size 6. It's because this is an ongoing pattern that you're noticing. They're just not hungry. Oh, I ate all I wanted. Oh, there's too much on my plate. That's an important thing to be aware of. Another one, which will be a big surprise, is perhaps a change in their hygiene. They were always so fastidious about their bathroom habits. They don't really want to take a shower. They're not grooming themselves the way they always did. They just don't seem to care. No, they don't seem to notice. Make a note. Changes in the language abilities. Wow, what's that word? Or the word comes out completely off. I know we all do that, but I'm asking you to look for a pattern. They're not catching what you're saying and you're repeating it again, and you know you've used these same words for the last 47 years, well, 74 years of your life, but I'm being generous. You've used these words a lot, and it's just not working for them. Make a note. Are you noticing an increase in apathy? This is just a lack or loss of motivation. They're really withdrawn. They have no emotion. They just are. Check mark. And how about an increased level of anxiety or agitation? Ooh, they just feel disturbed, or maybe they're frightened, or maybe they're demonstrating a lot of anger. You don't know why they're angry. You don't know who they're angry at. Or there's too much stimulation and they just are bothered. These are big flags to be aware of, okay? These are yellow flags. I mentioned combativeness or aggression earlier. They're just argumentative, or they snap. Well, these particular types of behaviors are usually brought on out of anger, or maybe they misinterpret what you said and they're really reacting fast, charged. They're feeling challenged. And I'll tell you what, you are not feeling happy at all about any of these things that we just covered. So these are your yellow flags. These are your signs of caution. Alert. Be aware. You've been watching these things happen, but now it's becoming more prevalent. I understand. You really don't want to go there. Maybe they're just depressed. They're not doing well on the golf course. Their friends have moved away. We can come up with all kinds of excuses. But the really big question that I ask you to ask yourself is, why are you holding out and finding out why there are all these changes? Why are you avoiding looking into this? Denial is not your friend. Denial is your enemy. Denial will work against you. There's probably a very good reason for a lot of these behaviors. Remember what we talked about in one of my earlier conversations is sometimes we have changes in our behaviors that are treatable. So rather than putting on those blinders, I don't want to see it, I don't want to know it, this is what happened to Harry, I don't like it, I saw what happened to Sally, I don't like it, that's not good. That's not kind. It's not good to you either. Make a note, pay attention, make an appointment with the doctor, have a conversation with your doctor. Maybe have that conversation all by yourself. Pick up a book, start reading, become informed. Knowledge is your friend because I want to save you the time, energy, pain, and money that results in ignorance, lack of knowledge, lack of willingness to take a look at what's going on. You know, maybe this is really fixable. Maybe there's some depression issues. That's not uncommon. And maybe there's a low thyroid issue, or your vitamin B1 is off. Or maybe it's a little bit more than that, but there's a reason. Guess what? There is always a reason. And more often than not, there's a real good solution. So, listen to this conversation again. Start making your notes. And then pick up the phone and take some action. Get some answers to open up the doors to your future.